All right, I'll call the meeting to order. Posted?
It has been posted according to law.
Roll call?
President Johnson.
Here.
Trustee Holm.
Here.
Trustee Nugent. Here. Trustee Renucci.
Here.
Trustee Smalley.
Here.
Trustee Wisniewski.
Here. I'm looking at our three members of the audience. Do any of you have anything to say during citizen participation before I read this whole spiel? No? Okay. All right. Then we're going to move on then, since there's nobody else here, to consent agenda. Is there? Yep. That's okay. We'll move on to consent agenda. One motion and a second. We'll approve all the following items. Any item may be pulled on the list and voted on separately. Before the motion, any questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second that.
Questions? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, miscellaneous business, item 1, update from Victor Stanford on 2954 Main Street progress. There were no packet materials, but we did get an email earlier today, and Victor is not here. Victor's not here. I don't know if he was planning on being here.
I am not sure if he was planning on being here. He's been here for the other meetings where we've presented, so I thought he would be.
All right, so let's get through the rest of the agenda, and if he arrives, we'll come back to it, and then if not, then we'll take up any discussion at that point. Okay? Item 2, consider First Amendment to site agreement for Sprint Spectrum Realty Company, LLC. Eileen?
Okay, so this is the First Amendment to the agreement. The agreement expires October 7th of 2027. They had reached out to us to negotiate an extension. The version of the agreement the board is seeing is the same version you reviewed on November 18th when we discussed the negotiations. There was one section there was a modification to regarding taxes. The attorney was fine with that. The section in my memo has the 15 days, but I had requested 30 days, which they agreed to and is in the agreement that's before you. Rent will increase, so years 21 through 25, with year 25 being 2027. Rent is $7,871 a year. It'll increase to $8,625.12 in 2028, and then we get a 4% escalation each year. There's five-year terms, and then there's an extended period within the agreement, which is comprised of 9 one-year terms. Attorney Potter, who reviewed this, was happy with the agreement, so we're recommending approval.
And this goes to the water utility, right?
Correct. The revenue is posted to the water utility fund since it is on water utility property with the tank.
I'll make a motion to approve the First Amendment to the Sprint T-Mobile site agreement.
I'll second.
Questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 3, authorize DPW BOA to seek bids for airport snow removal equipment. Jason?
Okay, so what we're looking for tonight is authorization to move forward with bidding replacement of the existing snow removal equipment out at the airport. We're looking to do that with a BIL, Bipartisan Infrastructure Law grant. That would be a 90% federally funded grant, and then 5% state and 5% local village. Projecting bid package to come in around $300,000 for the equipment we're looking at. This money does have it does need to be allocated by September of this year. And this is about the only way that we can get this money spent and utilize it is through SRE purchase. The BOA is working on this with about 5 airports in the state right now that are in the same situation. trying to spend that money. This was a want, this was a future project, but it wasn't a priority, so essentially we're moving it up the priority list to be able to utilize these funds to do it. But it's the situation that we're in. Again, we're in this situation because the FAA has said to us that originally the intention was to use this year 22, fiscal year 22 grant funds for designing of the next phase of hangars. FAA came to us last year and said, no, you can't do that. So we had to change gears, and this is the best we could do with it.
It's either use it or lose it.
Yes.
Do you think we'll get more than 5,000 for the existing equipment?
I do. I don't know what we'll get for it because it's kind of specialized, but I do suspect. So that's going to be traded in. That would be part of the bid package. The vendors supplying the new unit would give us a price on what trade-in is, and then the trade-in would come off of that cost of the initial cost. So it goes back. I mean, obviously, it cuts our percentage of the project as well, but the money was paid for with federal grants originally, so that goes back towards the purchase of the new machine.
And this will be stored in the hangar until we can get the ALP done?
So, yes, another interesting thing, our tenant's looking for more space already, so we're going to have to try to figure this out. A good problem to have out at the FBO, but we're going to have to try to figure something out, so, to get him more square footage in the FBO hangar, i.e. more revenue, so. But yes, as of right now, that's where the current machine is. And so the new machine will have a smaller footprint, so that's good because it's a more versatile piece and there's less attachments. So, but we'll have to figure out what we're going to do.
Would it be beneficial for us to try to peddle it to another airport or somebody could use it?
So if we decide we do not want to trade it in, we can sell it for a fair market value. The feds have a say on what that is. And then the
Understood.
money has to go, then that money comes off of our next grant, if you will. So essentially, it's not like there would be extra money off of in our pockets. It would, the next grant would reflect the difference. So it's really not going to save us anything.
No, I understand, but I'm just wondering if, I don't know these companies where you're going to be buying the new piece of equipment from, but they'll say, yeah, we'll give you $1,000 for it. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But again, it's not really a piece of equipment that's going to be useful to a farmer or anything like that. It's more specialized, because it was set up. It's a bidirectional tractor is what it is, and it was set up with these attachments for airport reasons. But I think it'll bring more than $1,000.
Is the new piece of equipment, is it going to be covered fully with the 300,000?
So that would be the purchase of the wheel loader. That's what it is it's an articulated wheel loader, similar to what we purchased a few years back. And then it would be a snowplow attachment and a bucket are currently what we're looking at. And I've got a couple of budgetary numbers, and one of them was under 300,000. So.
There'll be no snow blower then on this piece of equipment?
So the beauty of this is it would be the same hitch as what we purchased for the street department, so we would be able to use the snow blower from the street department out at the airport and not have a need to purchase a second snow blower.
I thought there was some kind of a conundrum with using airport equipment on village roads or village road equipment.
But we're not, we're looking to use village equipment at the
I
airport.
understand. I got
You
that.
are correct. If it's purchased for the airport, that's where it's supposed to stay.
Yeah, they said something about the road salt affecting airplane propellers or stuff.
But that doesn't mean that the street department equipment can't go. I mean, our snowplow trucks go out to plow the airport, so it's the same thing.
Got it.
What's the lead time on a new piece of equipment?
I'm not really sure of that, but we don't have to take delivery by September. We just need to have it allocated and have the grant assigned.
I'll make a motion to approve DPW to move forward along with the BOA to seek bids for SRE using 22-23 BIL allocation.
All right, any questions or discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Staff reports, item 1, municipal court report for December 2024. Any questions? Fire Chief's December 2024 report. Questions on that one? All right. Committee reports, items 1, 2, and 3, emergency
Sorry.
service. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was trying
Yeah.
to find my notes.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So in the chief's report, November 2024, fire report, 3 airplane crashes from August to November. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because we discussed this too, because we questioned it. There was one, it was more of a soft landing. And then there were two that weren't.
So there was one, there was,
Jason.
there was one by Scott Industries, and then there was one on the runway where landing gear, there was an issue with landing gear and the plane came down. But I'm struggling with the third one.
The other one landed out in a cornfield off Bell School Road and Stone School. Engine problems, I think, and he put it down in the cornfield. Yeah.
So everybody was safe.
Yep. Yeah. In all of them, everybody was good. Just
We've met our quota for some time, hopefully.
Any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. All right, committee reports, 1, 2, and 3, emergency services from October 15th, public hearing minutes from the 15th, and December 17th. Questions for Jason, anything you want to highlight?
No, nothing really to highlight out of it.
Okay, items 4 and 5, Booth Lake Memorial Park minutes from November 20th and December 18th. Joe, anything we should know?
We've got the lottery in February for the pavilions, so that'll be happening at the town, so.
Is it going to be held here at the hall?
No, at the town.
Town?
Yeah, we always have it at the town.
Town of Troy?
Town, Troy, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go back to number 1 on miscellaneous business, update from Victor Stanford on 2954 Main Street progress. So we received some pictures today. I don't know if, for the record, there's any questions or discussion or things we want to pose to staff.
I guess my question is, from seeing, I mean, the progress being made is, it looks very nice, and, the work that's being done looks succinct, and it looks like it's being done professionally. The only question I have is they decided to remove all the brick off the building, which I'm sure they had to do in order to do the repairs and the reinforcing and putting in proper footings and things. I got that. My question is, though, because I thought that was one of the reasons we wanted to save this building was because of the look and the fit of the neighborhood. That brick is being saved to be reinstalled. Is that my understanding?
I think that's what he said last time.
Okay, but it also wasn't, most of it wasn't removed last time.
I mean, I think, as Victor said last time, and, just what you could see over the past few months, I think there was a lot of deterioration underneath that was unexpected.
That's why I made the statement about, I
Yeah.
understand why it was all taken off.
Yeah, I just don't, I think whether he fully adds it all back or he does something, I think it will look tasteful and fit with the character of the neighborhood. I mean, the other houses there don't all have brick on them either. I know the greenhouse there to the right doesn't.
Were we given a timeline as far as any going on further? Were we given any idea of how long this might take?
No, we were not. I was just given this report. My question for the board will be that in 3 months, it concludes the 1 year. I would assume the board's still going to want to have continued updates if it's not complete within that 1 year, but I wanted to verify that with you and verify that a quarterly frequency is still acceptable.
I think so, and I think just when you do talk with Victor, given that once he pulled everything back and weather and other things, what's his current timeline? If he could submit that, and then we can look at what's the appropriate update schedule. I don't think-
It is, Matt, I'm sorry, but it is understandable. They had to do a lot more work. The interior was just totally redone and from top to bottom, and they're putting all the mechanicals in. And I'm not going to argue about the scheduling of what was done and when, but they're going to have a lot of work yet to do. So I don't, my opinion is I don't think you'll be able to hold them to that timeline.
No, but I think understanding what his timeline is that he's looking at now that he's got it all opened up. So, before we adjourn, we will need to schedule a special meeting. We do have some items that we needed to cover in closed session that was not on the agenda, so we can't adjourn to a closed session this evening. Is that something you wanted to schedule for this week or next week?
Preferably this week, because it was supposed to be on the agenda this evening, so it is regarding a development in TID 4.
Suggestions? I am not available tomorrow evening. Well, I guess I could do it tomorrow. I could do it after 6 o'clock, probably tomorrow.
Since it is closed session, we could do it daytime if that works. It could be, Teams as well.
Yeah, I guess we can't do it tomorrow because we had 24 hours notice.
Yeah.
You good Wednesday? Harry, Jim?
Afternoon, I'm available.
Yes.
Yes? How about 4 o'clock or 4:30? Let's do 4:30, if that's okay. And do it as teams.
Wednesday at 4?
4:30, sorry,
4:30.
yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get that posted publicly, and then we'll do that'll be a Teams meeting. Okay?
So are we going to do a online meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll come and see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, with that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.